This week on Zen and Not Zen, BroTime edition.
So there's this picture in front of me of Jesus. He's got his blue shirt, red robe, got a little halo guy going on, and he's got a lamb over his shoulders. And he's holding the lamb's legs like a towel. Like he just got out of the gym.
Out of his CrossFit. It's like biblical CrossFit. You're lifting lambs.
So I'm like, it looks like he just got done playing racquetball.
Yeah. Got a lamb.
It's like, need a fresh lamb. Towel off real quick, and go right back
Get
in.
his back.
That's good shit.
Get between his legs. That's fucking hilarious. BroTime.
BroTime.
My brother would fucking check bags, dude. I'm like, fuck you, dude.
Dude, I haven't. When I go to Mexico, like if I go out of the country, I'll check a bag.
Yeah,
you know. But if I'm just like I'm going down to mom's house,
especially for
hell
less
no.
than a week.
See, I disagree. I think you should never fucking check a bag unless it's absolutely necessary.
Well, if I
regardless of where you're going, I don't give a shit if you're going to fucking Antarctica.
Yeah.
Well, in theory, you're gonna need to check a bag.
Probably
You're gonna need a puffer.
Right.
But
that's the only place.
Yeah. I don't know. I try not to check bags now, but traveling with cartridges like marijuana. You know?
yeah, ask Brittany Griner about that.
No shit. I usually feel safer if it's in a.
I legitimately
check bag.
feel sorry for Brittany Griner, but I also legitimately should be like, homegirl, you went to Russia with alleged vape cartridges from a legal state in Arizona.
Wait,
you know, it's
who is this?
The best player in the WNBA. She's been detained in Russia for like the last 4 months.
Oh my God, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, no, it happened roughly around the same time that they invaded the Ukraine, so they were very
timing
bad,
worst timing.
But it's also like, homegirl,
Yeah, in Texas,
nobody's really professing her fucking innocence here. They're just saying, "Yo, you're holding her as like a piece," which we get you are. But it's just like, dude, you went to fucking, I'm not trying to bring acid into North Korea. You know what I'm saying? Nor would I want to trip.
I wouldn't want to bring
Korea.
cigarettes to North Korea.
No shit.
Right? Yeah.
I wouldn't want to bring
Actually,
any,
you probably would.
or my own
actually,
body.
in North
honestly.
Korea, this probably sounds racist or some shit. You probably would look good if you brought. Yeah, I want to smoke.
Right.
I was gonna smoke while I'm in North Korea. I want to smoke. The leader smokes. I'm gonna smoke.
Yeah, but that's really tough for her. I mean, she's definitely being like it's a game that's being played, and she's just a part of that game now.
Well, and especially with all of the playing back and forth government-wise, like they're like, well, we got one of your American sports players now. How about you want her back?
Right, exactly.
You want to get out of Ukraine? Maybe we'll let her go.
The last thing I heard about this was that they were gonna trade. And this was about a month ago. They were gonna trade her for the guy who was the Lord of War guy, the guy that Nick Cage.
Oh, yeah.
So we have him. And we're gonna trade a fucking arms dealer for a basketball player.
Russia has
like
been
in the
waiting for this
scheme,
gold
like
nugget to
now I'm
happen.
gonna be very fucking quote not zen, but in the scheme of things, we're talking about an arms dealer, and this guy just sold to everybody, you know.
And he had a good run. He had a good run of freedom.
But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, yeah, Brittany Griner's kind of fucked up, but like, yeah, this guy definitely responsible for some deaths. Like definitely responsible for those.
Yeah, she just got a cartridge.
Yeah.
Is she in jail over there?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So the recent talk was like either yesterday or 2 days ago was her 4th anniversary with her wife.
Wow.
Her partner, whatever. I'm not trying to be a dick about that, but they had scheduled a call so she could talk to her wife in the States or whatever.
Yeah.
And the call didn't go through despite it being like fucking scheduled and all that because the US embassy in Russia wasn't staffed.
Oh Jesus.
So like just literally like
damn.
You know, I watch a lot of this sports talk shit, and actually some people are like, well, really get your shit together. But it's like, who am I? Like, guys are acknowledging, like, I'm just an op-ed guy.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, really?
As someone who operates and is trying not to operate off for worst case scenario, like, this is, like, when I go through, should I bring this thing? That is the worst case scenario that runs through my brain that makes me not bring it.
So one of the best fucking memes, one of the best memes I saw about traveling was like, oh, I think I could, just like me at home. And it's like, I could wear this outfit, 2 days in a row.
Sure.
That's me traveling. Do I need 3 or 4 French horns?
You don't know. I don't know until I'll get there.
I'll bring this extra French horn just in case. So
Dude, I think the last time I traveled, I took my earbuds and my headphones. Like I had both the cord and the cordless. I'm like, why am I doing this? This is just a little.
Because what if
like
we
that.
lose one of them?
Right,
Then you're
exactly. The what ifs. Right?
The what ifs start going.
I know. I always play it safe. I don't feel uncomfortable traveling.
Packing light, bro. Packing light. This brings up to the other thing. It's like only check if you absolutely have to. Like I checked when I went to Hawaii because I had like some snorkel shit and fins and stuff. Like you have to.
Yeah, you can't really.
But it's just like
I pack light. I don't look great on the other side, but I pack light.
Well, okay, so here's
I'm
the other
in and
thing
out
is,
of the airport.
I don't even. It's hard for me to tell what we've talked about on podcasts and what we haven't. But like, have you ever had your shit lost, your luggage lost?
Yeah.
Like
No.
I got my shit back.
Yep.
But like that was very stressful.
Yeah.
So like, and I had a suit, so I had to check my shit there. Otherwise, I wasn't gonna. I wasn't.
Yeah. Well, especially if I'm going for like an event, like a wedding or a thing where I need the things in my, I will do everything in my power not to check it, and I will buy whatever I need to on the other end.
It's like Adam's checking for a motherfucking bottle of Perk Plus. Do they still make Perk Plus? Tell me they make.
Of course they do, man.
Of course they make Perk Plus.
Fuck
yeah.
I don't use it, but they make
No,
it.
you're an Alberto VO5 guy. You remember
Actually,
that shit? They
VO5,
still make
the hot oil.
Hot oil, man.
Yeah.
I was more of a Dove guy.
Dove.
honestly.
I'm a fan of that. Do they make shampoo now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
I bought a bottle.
That was Dove. Was my mom was getting me into that back in the early 90s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like the smell of Dove the best, the Dove shampoo. But I bought, I swear to God, like a 64-ounce bottle of Head and Shoulders like 4 years ago,
dude.
and I am just now getting
Oh,
to the
yeah,
bottom of it. Because I'm like, I don't like
a
this, but I
gallon of
have,
Head and
it's
Shoulders.
one of those huge
I
ones.
bought
It was
it
a grocery outlet.
I bought it at fucking Costco. I literally had that in my shower at my old apartment.
It's still
years.
full. And I can't use any
Dude,
other
did
one
that
until I get
fucking
through
like,
it.
I'm done. I'm like never gonna use. It was Head and Shoulders.
Yeah.
Also, I'm never gonna use that product ever again.
I'm
And it was
so
because
done.
of that fucking shit. That huge
There aren't
ass bottle.
small bottles.
Like, I still, I mean, I've got short / no hair. You
Well,
at least have long hair.
Yeah, well, I spent basically 2 years with a shaved head, so that even tacked on even more
Oh my
shampoo
God,
not
yeah.
used in the
Yeah.
bottle. So
Like
I can't
a dime
imagine
size. Like,
how much you
Costco's-
don't use as your
Costco
hair
is
is short.
fucked up for
crazy.
for a single bachelor dude.
It's horrible.
I mean, dude, like literally like shit
or just
lasts.
a single human.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Even two people, it's too much. It's too
Well,
much
outside of
stuff.
just footing the bill for the membership and dropping 2 bills every time you go.
Yeah.
Like it's just literally like, do I have space for this?
Yeah, that's a
because
big
I'm
thing.
going to fucking hold it for 4 years.
yeah, it's gonna be with me.
Well, shit. Remember I posted
For
a
at
thing on
least a
Facebook,
presidential election.
like about the dryer sheets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I think the anniversary for that's coming up in October-ish. I don't know when the fucking thing on Facebook is, but it was like in October or some shit, and that'll be like, I estimated about 4 years on this box of Costco dryer sheets. I'm probably gonna time out a little bit before that, but I've started to use more dryer sheets based on the feedback from the post 4 years ago that I wasn't using enough.
Well, we accidentally we did one of the things like during the pandemic where we were ordering paper towels and they were selling them in cases. So when we were ordering them, we're like, 2 packages of paper towels, thinking it'd be 2 packages of like the 6, but it was 2 cases. And so now we're just getting down to and we're using paper towels more than we ever would because I'm like, we gotta get through them because they're taking up fucking space in our
Gotta get
house.
through them, man.
But oh fuck!
Here, take some paper towels on your way out.
Yeah, right?
That's our
roll.
gift. Yeah, we'll bring paper towels instead of wine
when we were
over
like
people's
19
houses.
and 20, there was like paper towels were nowhere to be found. Nobody would fucking foot the bill for the Viva.
People paper towels.
No, we weren't Brawny or fucking Bounty people back then.
I watched those extreme coupon shows where they
that's
have the
some
entire
bullshit.
basement full, like it's a store in their
it's like
basement.
they call it their stocked room
Which,
or
like,
whatever.
For a family of 4 or more, makes
Well, yeah,
a lot
with all
of
these
sense. But then
I
they
was
keep
about to say
bringing
some
in more
mean-ass
shit. And I'm like, how are you ever
Damn.
going to get through this?
Also, I mean, it's TV, obviously, but it's just like they'll spend like 7 hours at the fucking grocery store buying,
Yeah,
and it's
it's
just
not
like
about
huge...
the things. It's the high of like getting to the cash register and having like
extreme
$1
couponing.
to owed because of all. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, actually, that's
it's a
a
math
fucking.
game.
Wow.
That was a fucking awesome segue to the topic, though. Because what was the topic again today?
So it's a 2-part topic.
Oh shit, it's 2-parter.
It's a
Fuck,
two-
I only
yeah.
planned for one part of the first part.
Sorry, man. So originally the topic was going to be the things we don't remember and do we care. But when I was starting to like look into that idea, there's two terms that came up. One's digital amnesia, and the other is called the Google effect. Mm-hmm. And so digital amnesia, the basis of that is we are now releasing memory because we don't have to hold on to information that can be stored in our phone or readily available devices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Google effect is releasing information that we can now just find on Google, right? Yeah. So phone numbers and addresses and directions, things like that, that's more of like digital, what did I just say? Amnesia, digital amnesia.
Different kind of amnesia. Holy shit.
Wow, that was too perfect.
Yeah,
and
digital amnesia.
And then the Google effect is basically like, finding out what celebrity starred in what movie. You don't have to remember that anymore.
The Google effect for me is real, and I will purposefully not look stuff up to get my brain to reuse that muscle, because I used to be able to know that person was in that person, that's that person's name, and it'll come to me. It might take a couple hours, but it usually will come back to me. If it's like a day or two later, I'll probably look it up, but I've been trying really hard not to search stuff on Google, but it's so easy to just
it's an easy
not
thing
keep that in your brain.
You know what's funny is, I obviously use Google for all that shit because I like to know. Especially if I want to talk about stuff that's important. Like when
I do it on this podcast.
Yeah, know 3 things about anything and you can bullshit.
Yep.
It's a really good
point. That's a Robinism right there.
Yeah. I don't remember this. Yeah, it's not even original. I stole that from somebody. I usually like to cite my references.
I associate it with you.
Yeah.
Fuck. But so I just downloaded the Wikipedia app. And I've found that most of the time, that's just quicker. Like, when I see people open up their phone and go to Google, I'm like, it's literally going to be the top thing that you're trying to look is going to be a link to Wikipedia.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Or just the blurb from Wikipedia.
Like, it just appears right there, and it's just like, Like, I tried to not do that. Mm-hmm. Because I was like, oh, no, it's, anyone can review it. I mean, according to that, I'm a, 14th degree black belt and shit. Right, I got 12 kills in my Wikipedia.
You got a Wikipedia page?
No.
Come on, man. I'm going to create one.
Fuck that shit. No.
And I'm going to have that information on there.
What, 12 kills? No, because then I'll get all these fucking people like, Robin stolen valor.
Yeah.
You don't fucking need that karma. God.
Oh, man.
I would also argue that the Google effect has made me more knowledgeable about stuff.
It has.
I can't maybe retain it like I could without maybe a little a help of being like, oh, right, that's what that was. But the additional information I can get from a Google search on someone or something is more than just remembering before it existed.
Right.
So,
and I think that's a good point, and to counter or talk about what Robin talked about too, like it's great to have that information at our fingertips now. There's nothing wrong with that, and but I think if you're concerned about the whole memory side of it, are you Googling the same stuff over and over again, right? And if that's a yes, then there's your thing to start working on, right? Yeah. And that's like those you call it a trigger identifier, whatever you want. But if you're constantly Googling what the square root of 10 is, then just remember what the fucking square root of 10 is, right?
Right.
And start there. But if you don't know Albert Einstein's birthday, fucking great. Who does?
Right.
Right? That's cool. Google that shit, right?
Yeah.
That's fine, right? It's good to have that information at our fingertips.
Yeah.
The other side, and it's funny, I was talking to my mom this morning and was talking about this topic. And she said that she was that she used to be able to remember phone numbers, everybody's phone number. And now that when she can't, she feels that she feels like she's stupid.
Yeah.
And so my question back to her was, because that's a big thing with the digital amnesia, is that, we have all of our phone numbers on our phone now. I don't need to remember my mom's phone number from when I was growing up, which is 292-8555.
520-575-8764. Can still remember that.
Exactly.
My home number.
Totally. But
still know the ones from the, about 16 and before.
Yeah, definitely. But now that we've freed up that space in our brain, we don't have to remember all those numbers. Yeah. We're now remembering more other things that could be more meaningful. We're just not really paying attention right now because we're just lamenting the fact that we don't remember my dad's phone number when I was 10.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think just because we were able to do a specific thing doesn't mean you aren't still capable of like being capable of remembering something. Mm-hmm. You, like you said, are freeing up space and filling it maybe with different things now. So it's not but it is interesting how we go straight to, I'm a piece of shit, I can't remember anyone's phone number, mm-hmm. but we haven't really tried or had to,
right,
or needed to. So isn't that a good thing? It's a lot of space that all those numbers were taken up in my brain.
I mean, I know.
And now I can fill it with other things like TikTok.
Do you guys? Do you two share that like the oh crap, I can't remember that phone number thing, and that frustrates you? The phone number that like
it used to.
See like yeah okay so used to like I don't think I
yeah.
You know, I believe your mom and all that, but it's just like for me, I'm just thinking, I'm like, I don't think I've ever been like, I don't, I'm just like, oh well, don't need to.
Right.
Kind of my algebra that I don't have a tough time, like long division and shit. It's like cool, I'll just use my fucking phone.
Yeah.
Once we get to remainders, it gets hard.
Well, yeah, it was that same fucking thing in school. It's like, why do I have to do the work if I have a thing that will now help me get to the same place? Well, it doesn't make me dumb. I know how to do it, but I'm just not going to take the extra time to do it written out versus if I just had a calculator, I'm just going to do that.
Right. I think a lot of it's like conditioning of ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we're so used to talking negatively to ourselves when we realize we're outside of what we're normally used to.
Yeah.
That we can't just appreciate the fact that like, hey, shit, I have this more free time to do whatever the fuck I want because I don't have to remember all this other stuff.
Yeah. Perspective shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so in other areas of this besides phone numbers, like I've always had a shitty sense of direction. It's just, and I can't say it runs my family.
We haven't been in the car a lot. Yeah, I don't know that about you.
I do. I have a really bad sense of direction.
Oh shit, dude.
And so
you can find Popeyes though.
Google Maps.
Yeah, I did find a Popeyes.
Like that is like super super helpful for me because I can now find stuff. But I think in a way that is actually making me worse at directionality because I'm not paying attention to what direction I'm going.
You're just listening to the thing.
Yeah. And that's kind of the thing is like, well, and I was thinking about this when you were talking about, we could free, because I don't remember the fucking Dairy Queen's phone number anymore. I can free up all my brain. But it's also, I think Google and all this gives us a false sense of like, I'll just Google how to do that shit. People get... I'm a lot of mechanic heroes or whatever. Just Google it. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why those guys charge what they charge.
Well, to be fair though, if like,
you can do it, I mean that's why they sell Chilton's.
Exactly right. If you have and that's the thing I love about this kind of idea, right? If you have a basic understanding of something or like the curiosity to really figure it out, you can really figure shit out nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's really like it's amazing.
YouTube is pretty. I use YouTube for that more than like it's just kind of crazy. It's like somebody will actually make a video, and then the top comment is, "Thank you for actually making a video of exactly what I needed to."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's exactly what I needed to.
Totally.
Yeah, I've definitely fixed little things on my car, like little lights that won't come on. I'll like YouTube it, and then I'll fix it. Or like right now, I'm teaching myself guitar, and I couldn't imagine doing that as a 16-year-old without any kind of internet resource. I mean, I
hot
still
cross
could.
buns?
I had a hot cross buns moment the other day. Because right now I'm working on trying to do the like the F and the B chords where all your first finger covers the bar chord. And I cannot do it, man.
I don't know if I can do that.
I can't do it, and it's frustrating the fuck out of me. And I'm just like, this is my hot cross buns moment because a year from now I might be able to do it, and I'll look back and think how stupid it was that I was so upset that I couldn't right now because I'm just a couple months in.
Exactly, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Just first finger to thumb, just squeezing like that. And just doing that on occasion.
Oh,
you can start to strengthen that.
That was the other thing I was going to ask the string musicians in the group. How do I build that specific muscle?
Yeah, you can just start to do this.
I've also been using debit card, holding a debit card to build up my calluses.
The calluses is for me, like that's
I got those down. I think I finally got to the point where they're good.
Yeah, for like a bar chord, if you just kind of like pinch here, that's
okay, cool.
I can play bass, not guitar.
Yeah.
So
is there a chord like that in bass though?
No, people play chords. But you're not gonna. I mean, no. I'm gonna see fucking Victor Woon just like, I fret all that all over.
Exactly right. I remember. So I was one of the first times I went to go pick up my kids over in Eastern Washington. it was snowing, and I was like, all right, well, I should get snow tires or snow chains for my car. So I went to Fred Meyer, picked up snow chains. I'll figure it out. I've done it before. I've seen it done.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be a problem. Dumb shit. So I got all the way up to the pass, and it's like, got to put on your chains. And I pull them out, and I'm like,
what?
I don't know how these work.
So you pull out YouTube.
And there's no cell reception in the past?
No, I did. I pulled out YouTube, and I was able to Google how to put that specific snow chain on.
Oh, because it wasn't the standard, like, put it, drive it on.
No, it was, yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Oh, so
but they look
the
funky when they're unraveled because they don't look like a very easy thing to put on.
I should be 100%. I should be 100% clear. I have never put on chains myself, but I've grown up watching people do it.
Yeah.
Watching it fairly often.
I had never done it. That's when I realized I had never done it.
I'm not gonna
be like, I can't figure this out.
Like,
because not only do you wrap it around, but you also got to like pull it around the hubcap and then snap something there too. And I'm like, but. I had reception. Yep. I was able to YouTube it on the side of the road in real time and figure this shit out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have just been fucked. Right?
How often have you heard me say, like, I know in theory how to do that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
In theory, I know exactly what that is.
Stay on in theory.
But yeah.
The troubleshooter's mind, I can figure this out, but sometimes it takes time.
Hey, listen to your dog being friendly to all the neighbors outside.
Yeah,
she's singing.
Yeah.
She's singing. Oh yeah, I got these two biased dog owners here. Just like, oh no, it's fine. The neighbors just have absolutely.
It's not quiet hours yet. Well, quiet hours don't start till 10, so they can't do shit till quiet hours.
Yeah, the guy like who's studies making like a Civil War miniatures and stuff. It's just like this fucking dog.
Jump every time.
Just like
paint the jacket.
Painting Civil War miniatures of like a huge battle scene. Am I painting a good enough picture here?
Oh yeah, totally.
Trying to concentrate.
I can actually smell the must with the paint.
Like it's a clean room, but somehow dusty and dim.
Yeah.
Despite him needing to do detailed work. Believe it or not, all of us know this guy's white.
Yes.
Didn't even bring that up. But just everyone out there, including the tens and tens of listeners out there.
Especially if it was a Revolutionary War recreation. That guy's probably white.
Very, very valid point. Very valid point.
So what about like people with their cell phones out at concerts, or like living through their lens instead of actually experiencing the thing?
I bitch about that all the time.
I have really, I have started to not take pictures at concerts because they don't ever turn out. I'll take a couple videos, like when I was at Beyonce, I still look back when I was at Lauryn Hill, and there were a couple and I was very front row, and it was an excellent time to do that, but I still felt like an asshole because I'm sitting here with the legend in front of me, and I have my phone literally in her face.
That was pretty tight when we saw Lauryn Hill
and
together,
I'm just
sitting here with a legend.
I am just sitting with a legend. But it does, I feel like it does take me out of the experience. Yeah. And so I have tried not to, and I have this like picture anxiety of like I have all these pictures now, but I don't print them out at Walgreens anymore because everyone keeps things digital. And I'm like, what am I going to do with all of these thousands of pictures that I've taken that I don't really look at, but I don't want to get rid of? Yeah. So I don't want to add more to that. So it's like I'm easing my anxiety by not adding more pictures.
Oh, there you go. You know, that's interesting. That's a really good point. Like,
unless it's a very specific moment where I'm like, this is the time to do it, or I'll take one and I'm done.
Yeah. And that's, there's so much now that we're understanding how much energy that digital file storage takes. Yeah. Right? Terabytes and terabytes of storage. Well, now I don't even know what the bigger one is, but there's way bigger than terabytes. But, and the amount of energy that it takes to run these, and that statement you just made, like, I share that too. I didn't realize that was what I had, but I have tons and tons of pictures in clouds everywhere that I'll fucking never look at. Half of them are memes I don't even think are funny anymore. But one, I don't want to go through them because I don't have the time. Right. And two, like, it's overwhelming. It is, you're right. And so all of this, like, basically waste is being stored in all of these energy sucking areas. Mm-hmm.
And you got to buy a bigger phone or a bigger computer to transfer all of it over because I don't want to get rid of it when I get a new phone. So I need a bigger phone so I have more memory power so I can keep the ones that I have. But also, so it's like perpetuating this thing. And so when I kind of came to that realization, I was finally like, I am only going to take pictures of stuff that I really want to remember.
Wow.
But even then, like, I'm now starting to look at like websites like Chatbooks just to get them off and put them in some kind of physical form.
Yeah.
But I used to scrapbook like a motherfucker.
Oh, there you go.
When I was a kid.
Hell yeah.
We would have like weekends where my sister and my mom and I, we would like scrapbook the shit out of all of our pictures. And I'm like, I don't even know where those scrapbooks are now.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I would do with any of the pictures that I have.
Exactly.
Like, the only thing so recently my kid graduated, and so like that was a thing where it's like, okay, cool, sending pictures for a monologue or some montage they were making.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like, I'm not like a reminiscent type person where I just sit there and I'm like, go look at pictures and I'm like, oh, this was when I was in France.
Yeah, because sometimes it doesn't make me feel better because it's like, a lot of them do, but then there are some where it's like, I wish I was back there, or that person's not in my life anymore, or that person passed away and I can't really look at that picture because it makes me sad, but I don't want to get rid of it because the person passed away, and like, it's just... And I also, when I'm taking pictures now, I think, am I taking this for me or am I taking it to make sure that I can show other people I was here?
Right.
And if that's the answer, I stop taking pictures as like evidence of me being at this specific place.
Right.
And because those are the pictures I don't look back on.
Right.
And when we were on our Facebook kick way back in 2010, where we would upload albums of our night. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so there was at least a place to put it, but it was to document like, hey, this is what I did. This is my exciting life.
Yeah.
And those pictures I don't want to look at. You know, they're dumb.
So when I was looking back at actually the pictures that Mon and I were in France like 5 years ago.
That was 5 years ago?
Yeah, it was like 5 years ago, right?
Damn.
And it was great. Like, we had an amazing time. Our friends live over there. And I was looking back through the pictures, and I'm like, 99% of them I remembered.
Yeah.
Right? I remembered the moments. They were beautiful pictures. They were great.
Yeah.
But there was only really one picture that I was like, oh, yeah. And I got a really, like, joyous, like, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
And it was a picture in a church. So we went to all these castles and churches that are like hundreds of years old. It's fucking great.
Because France.
Right, you know? And so we're in this fucking church, and we're all up doing our own things. And I didn't realize I was just openly laughing at this painting in front of me until Mom came behind me, and she was like, dude, you're laughing at a church. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, right.
She's like, what are you laughing at? And I'm like all the other pictures are beautiful and great. There's all memories I remembered, but the lamb picture was like, I'm never going to get rid of that one.
No, because that brings back like a very specific memory.
Picture.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And a lot of the times I'll go through, like, when I was really into taking pictures at concerts, like, I'd have to delete 100 of them because they don't turn out and they don't hold up. Yeah. And even when Mandy and I were in Scotland, there was this one morning where we were in the Isle of Skye, and we had hit this cliff just at the right time where the waterfall coming off the cliff made a rainbow. So it looked like the waterfall was a rainbow.
Ooh.
And I had 800 pictures of it, and none of them could translate the brilliance of this fucking thing. But I was like, no one will believe me that I was here. And I was like, it doesn't matter because
I didn't believe you got married
it.
in Scotland.
Best decision ever. But yeah, the mental picture of that, because it was so intense, I'll never not remember that.
Right.
And that is good enough for me.
Well, it's funny when you bring up the concert thing, because I always, it's just like, well, cool, now you're watching the show through your phone.
Yeah.
But Tiffany brought this up, was just like, even if you wanted to, because she knows I'll give her shit if we go to a show and she does that. Like, it's just like, what the fuck, you know? But you also pretty much only get a video of other people's phones, too.
Exactly.
It's like a wall of dipshits doing that.
Yeah.
And I understand that there's a lot of people doing that, but it's just like, why did you actually go to the show? Because this also brings up the other thing is, most people, I won't say most people, but a lot of people are going to have a better angle than you for that shit. And you're going to see
I'll watch their video online.
And that's the thing, is like, in theory, there's going to be somebody that's going to do this.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, so what exactly are you doing?
To be fair, when I saw Dolly Parton concert, I have a total of 5 pictures and 2 videos. And I look back on those, and they were, they were like 10 seconds. I was so mad at myself I didn't have more. There was one of Islands of the Stream and one of 9 to 5. Yeah. And I'll still watch them, but they're not very long, but it's just enough to make me happy. And I am so glad I didn't have like 800 of them because like they're not quite right. Of course she has like a halo like around her in all the pictures because she's just all sparkles. And but it's just like, take a couple and then I'm done. And then it was just, you get to like fully experience the moment. And then also what really got me is that Adele called out somebody at one of her concerts that was in the front row that had like a tripod.
Oh, shit.
And she like stopped the show and was like, you need to put that away. Like, you are here. We are all here. I am right in front of your face. You don't need that.
Wow.
And so I was like, I am forever now more not going to be that person that is going to have, the tripod all set up.
Wow. That's crazy. My friend's kid, Cassie, was notorious for stealing my phone and Monica's phone. And this was when she was younger. She's probably 8 or 9. And she'd literally take like 1,000 pictures of herself.
Yeah.
And just running around the house. All these like just montages of Cassie. Hundreds and hundreds of pictures.
I can't even imagine like what kids' phones are like
now.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Crazy. Just full of selfies.
Yeah. It was bonkers. I still find them. Like, I'll go back and look for a picture or something, I'm like, I'll go through and I'm like, oh, there's 75 pictures of Cassie going up the stairs.
Oh my God, that's
like,
so funny. Different angles.
Yeah, totally.
Different shadow light.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's times where I still feel like I'm like maybe utilizing. So in the yoga, I have a couple of yoga friends that call Google Ananda. And Ananda is like a word of like a higher like thought, a teacher or something like that.
Yeah.
And so like I to your point earlier, I try not to Google things as much as I used to.
Yeah, I still will, but I
still
ask
will.
myself, do I need to, or
Thank
will this?
God.
I know this.
And Kinsey, you know this because we broadcast podcast from Adam's house, but that's why he's got all those Encyclopedia Britannicas in his living room.
Just R through T.
Yeah, just R through T. That's the important ones, man. Yeah, exactly. Yoga,
I do like to thumb an Encyclopedia Britannica every once in a while.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh man,
refresh the brain.
Hell yeah! Have you looked at one of those lately?
No.
God damn! I was at a place. I was at like some doctor's office that had old encyclopedias. I don't know if they were Britannicas, but like
it reminds me
world
of
books. We used to have
projects.
world books in elementary school.
Yeah.
World books.
It reminds me of sitting in a library because you couldn't check the encyclopedias out.
Remember Encarta, the online?
Yes.
That would be more something that like I used.
Mm-hmm.
The one that
in
comes
like 5th grade, I would
straight
use
to my brain was my report on the kookaburra. In 4th grade, I looked at the kookaburra. Excuse me. But when I think of an encyclopedia, that's exactly what I think of because I think I spent the most time looking at it just so I could type up this report about this bird. But it stuck with me forever.
Yeah. What year were you doing the online or the disc version?
Encarta.
Yeah.
Probably like early 90s,
wow.
mid 90s, because I had an older brother,
yeah.
and my mom was like pseudo tech literate. Like we had early computers.
Okay.
Yeah, you were up here too, which is
I mean shit. Yeah, no, I mean there was literally like where you used to live over by where Costco is. I think it's now a fucking boat dealer that used to be called Ballard Computer. That entire glass building off 405 was a fucking software store.
Wow.
Did you guys fuck with Kid Pics?
Oh, Kid Pics for days.
Yeah.
Fucking number munchers.
I remember
Oregon
computer
Trail
classes.
Yeah.
We would have to do a typing thing, and then for the last like 30 minutes, we could play on Kid Pics, and it was
Kid
just
Pics
like
was fun.
Yeah.
That was on like an early Apple or was that was on a Mac or was
it
on a Mac?
early Mac I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
basically like a
that
Paint. It was basically like Microsoft Paint.
Yeah.
But
was
better.
Arizona for you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, but we had
Pics.
computer classes and had to do the typing, timed typing of how fast you could go.
Yeah.
And then once you passed that, you could like play.
Yeah,
around
I
with
never
Kid
did.
Pics.
Did you Mavis Bacon teach his typing?
The what?
That was Mavis Bacon was like the one software that like
I don't remember that.
Mavis Bacon teaches typing.
I think I learned how to type before that. I think I learned how to type on a typewriter.
Oh
God.
shit.
Yeah.
Dude, you're not that fucking old.
But down
You're
south,
not that much older than us.
I know, but that was the computer. Like it was typewriter, and then it was straight. Like I feel like it happened so fast.
No, and there was a lot of reasons to still use typewriters and shit to be able to fucking legibly put stuff in forms.
Well, and I think you and Mandy are closer in age than, like you guys are solid Gen X, and she has
you and I
typewriter
are
memories.
more. I mean, aren't you? So we're
the birth of the early computers.
and I mean, I'm technically a millennial by like a year or two. like I'm in that category.
range, yeah.
Much to my chagrin. I don't think fucking millennials use that lame ass fucking expression like that.
Much to my chagrin.
Yeah, that really shows your age. Not a millennial. Is that why you're using chagrin?
Yeah. Not a millennial. Oh, whatever. Probably am.
I think, well, we get too caught up in labels anyways. You know, what does that mean, really?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it doesn't, I mean, everyone says they feel the same. I was telling somebody this. It's like I pretty much act and dress the same as I did high school, for better or for worse.
I think most millennials do.
It's just pretty much like, well, no, I mean, I dress slightly better than I did in high school. It's just a more refined version of jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah, less Hollister for me, for sure.
Well, I think you're seeing that a lot more now as our generations are getting older. You know, when I look back at my parents' generation, like they were wearing like blouses and like
they were
business casual at home. Business casual.
They were wearing blouses and other exotic
pleated pants.
Right.
Yeah.
Like your dad this pleated shit.
That's so real.
To be fair, my dad was a truck driver, so he wore like cut off jeans with.
My dad was a jorts with white socks, black tennis shoes.
So I literally saw my dad maybe wear a suit like 2 or 3 times in my entire life, and it was for like what the fuck ever. And he'd just be like, I gotta go to this fucking thing. I'm gonna wear a suit, to be like, it's funny because I borrowed his suit to go to a wedding when I was 19. Because fortunately, I guess my dad was built like a 19-year-old at the time.
He wore his suit at 19.
But he had to wear the suit again, maybe like 15 years later. There was my buddy's wedding invitation still in the end. Oh shit, we are cordially invited.
Fuck, that's hilarious.
I'm just like, I haven't had to wear the sport coat since you did.
Jesus Christ. I had 2 jobs in a row where I wore suits.
Yeah, the theaters,
and then the theater. And so, like, not at Jillian's every day. We had Fancy Fridays where we wore suits. But I still had to dress nicely.
Yeah.
That's where you wore that Kentucky Colonel shit that I heard about.
That was more at the theater. I was wearing, like, ascots and bow ties.
The Kentucky Colonel.
It's like, hey, if I'm going to do it, I might as well just
Let's
do it.
go. Let's fucking go.
We did Ice Saturdays, where the diamond stud earrings on Saturdays.
Yeah. You know, and I didn't mind it then. Like, I can definitely, like, when I wear a suit now, I really don't like it.
I don't particularly like it.
I quit a job because I couldn't handle the business casual. I worked at the Alaska USA Credit Union for
whoa.
Before I started, I had to quit that job because I was like, my soul is dying, and so then I started working at Red Hook. But that was a job right before I worked at Red Hook. I worked at the Marysville branch inside the grocery stores up there.
Like wear slacks.
But we had to wear slacks and a jacket. We had to wear a jacket. And it was just like, I hate this so much. I don't even
have the
it really did.
I do. I mean, I've got 3 suits or 2.5 suits or whatever, but it's like I only have like 3 dress shirts.
Yeah.
That I use interchangeably in that shit. I don't have an infrastructure of just like mediocre to okay, collared fucking long sleeved. I'm gonna go buy those fucking package motherfuckers at the store just so I can go to work. Fuck that shit. I also went to the bank. Sorry, I'm going off now. I think I told you about this. I'm like, I'm gonna go do human interaction at the bank, and it took like fucking 20 minutes for me to do a fucking deposit, and I got so mad, and then I tried to act like I didn't get mad, so I had to lie about how I was feeling with the fucking cashier. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, hey man, people get bent out of shape about stuff. I'm like, motherfucker, I want to smash his skull into a Tesla. Yeah, but fucking bankers. I think I bitched about bankers last week. But yeah, don't let those guys ever, or girls or thems, ever make you fucking feel bad about their work schedule. Those motherfuckers get every day off they want.
Here's the thing. The Alaska USA Credit Union, they pride themselves on being open on holidays.
7 days a week.
And holidays. Yeah. We are open Christmas. We are open 4th of July. Yeah. We are open all the time. So I started that job thinking, I was like, great, I'll get all these holidays off. But we are the branch that we do things differently. And we are here for the customers.
It's like, we fucking hate our staff. We look at our staff and we say, fuck you.
Yeah,
it was pretty much it.
Well, and because it was high pressured in the sense of like, you are handling, I mean, huge sums of money. You have to do the vault checks. You got to have two keys.
Cash handling is not
there
for
isn't
everybody.
Like a, hey, hand me that thing. There is a process to, if I need to get this $20 bill out of this thing, I have to have a manager. We got to sign off. She's got to be able to look. So everything has a specific process that if you do not follow, like, it could be A, your job, or B, a crime.
Right.
So I was already on edge, just constantly just being like, I'm going to fuck something up or do something wrong. And then on top of it, I'm going to be uncomfortable while I'm doing it. Like, I'm like, I can't do it.
Every holiday, like,
can't
fucking.
Do it.
That's crazy.
Fucking, I mean,
no, and I don't even think we got that much extra pay.
I'll give you a pass on needing to do some last minute banking on Christmas Eve. Like, that one makes sense.
Not a lot of people use it. I mean, the 4th of July was usually like busy, or Memorial Day.
But it's just like, who the
fuck
like, needs to go to, like, oh, nobody. God damn, thank God you're open on Thanksgiving.
I know. I need this cash.
I need to send a wire transfer via Western Union. Like,
who's closed on Thanksgiving.
Pony Express. Fucking more old, antiquated shit.
I had a girlfriend whose sister worked for a bank in Australia, and I can't remember the name of the bank, but she, when she first started there, she had a cash handling mishap, and she was supposed to give this person $1,000.
Yep. Oh my God.
Gave him $10,000.
Yep.
And
almost done that.
And I was sitting next to my girlfriend at the time when she got the news. They were talking on the phone. And I was like, oh shit, like that's like
huge.
You can go to jail for that.
Exactly.
Shit. And so I just overhearing the conversation, and basically like everything was totally fine. Nothing's gonna happen to her, and she actually now still works for the bank. She got promoted into something else. Her. But like, not only did nothing happen to her, they didn't even get the money back from the person. They were just like, shit happens. They
took us through training, and one thing I'll never remember is that they were talking about, like, in the case of a robbery, what you need to do, and so they
give them whatever they want.
No.
Oh no.
If you do not adequately do what you possibly can to save giving that, or like if you like there were certain processes that we had to do, and like buttons we had. Yeah, this is a credit union.
So different.
So if we didn't at least look like we were trying to do that, and if we just handed over money, we could lose our jobs. Like if we were just like, if someone came up and was like, hand me the money, and we just handed it to them without like trying to press a button or notify somebody, like that would be almost grounds for termination, because that, I mean, we don't know if you're working with this person, or like there are like all these other factors that come into play. But like I never would have thought, like, I'm like, oh, this will be an easy chapter of training, like give them the money and we have insurance or whatever. But it is
I think it's different
even in a life-threatening situation.
Probably,
you know
I still could get in trouble.
Like that's why I asked credit union. It might be different because of the credit union versus banks. I know they're both insured. They have different insurance things, but it's like it's literally like
there's
everything I hear about banks, even like the shit, like, you know, from the shit I watch on TV on like Vice about like guys who rob banks, and the way that shakes out is like it's like no. You're giving
and it's like a local credit union.
Not to trivialize saying, like, I would literally like shit myself, be like, sir, sorry, it smells. Where do you want the money now?
Yeah. If I was working at Bank of America, have it. Like, I know they got it.
I'm not trying to sit here in front like I would just be like, oh yeah, rob me, no problem. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna fucking, you know, jump on a grenade for some asshole's
Me either, man. No. Yeah. The
think there's gonna be a memorial where they're gonna have a thing for you, be like, he's a very brave teller.
I know.
He
saved $56,000. Almost walked out of the Juanita branch.
Yeah, it's true.
Have you ever been robbed at work, or been robbed in general?
No. I have not had that experience.
Nope, I haven't.
Well, I've been robbed personally, but robbed at work. So when I worked at Red Hook, somebody came and broke in and robbed the safe one day.
Yeah.
But not while you were there.
No, while I was there.
Okay.
I opened the next morning, and the chef and I found it, and we were like, well, this just turned into an interesting day.
Yeah.
And the only other time that, we were, my bouncer and I were leaving Jillian's one night, and it was like 3-4 in the morning, and we do last walkthroughs, walk through the game rooms. Like, there's a lot of places for people to hide.
Yeah.
So we go through the whole place, we clear it out.
Check behind the Hydro Thunder.
Oh, exactly, 100%. Man, pop shots, man. There's plenty of places to hide.
Plenty of space back there.
And so we lock up and we're walking around the corner, and we walk around the front side of the building, and it's all windows around the front side of the building, and we're walking, and Les just he grabs me and he grabs my shoulder. He's like, dude, I'm like, what's up? And he looks over. He's like, look inside behind the speaker. And we look inside, and there's a dude just hiding behind the speaker inside.
Oh my god!
So I had to go back in and get that guy out of there. Les just pretty much palmed his face and just ran behind the
just
speaker.
hiding inside of a cab.
Palmed his face.
No, he was just behind it. He was just tucked in behind two speakers, and we couldn't see it from the inside because it was like a wall of speakers. But from the outside, it was glass.
See it.
So yeah, he just reached back there and grabbed this guy by his fucking head and just pulled him out and threw him outside.
Motherfucker was like, dude, I was gonna play Hydro Thunder.
God. Yeah, right? All night, bro.
I had a high score on pop shots. Fucker.
All night, bro.
Yeah, we come in, it's like, who's Sexy Man 42? Yeah. Why is he so good at Hydro Thunder?
Comes out of nowhere.
Sexy Man 42. So good.
No, but I like the idea of we're just making space for new memories now.
It's a nice thought. It's a nice thought. Yeah. I mean,
it's what are we gonna do with it?
I do think it's important that we have this kind of false illusion of kind of who. I think we've just devalued just intelligence and the pursuit of the academic pursuit.
Yeah.
Because it is at our fingertips, so we just kind of value, and also.
Because
we really want to get into this.
Well,
it's easy, but it's also, I think, if you fucking Google something, and I don't know enough about search engine optimization, but it's just
SEOs? What you got?
Yeah, what you got? What you got, restaurant guy? But my point is with that is this shit could easily, if you Google something, the top result or top two results are gonna be what the fuck you're gonna say the answer is. Well, blindly.
And there was something I was watching the other day about how, this probably will tap into what you're gonna say, search engine stuff, is that Amazon kind of dominates the first, how many times have I gone to the second page of a search thing? I go for the top 5, and I just don't even think about it because I just assume clearly they're the best, but it's just how much you can pay to put up there, or Amazon's or Google if they own it, they with flights and everything now too, they'll have that just pop right up, so you don't even have to go to the website of airlines to buy tickets.
Concert tickets is a big one.
Yeah.
To where if you look for concert tickets for a specific show, it won't go to Ticketmaster selling it. The first 5 results will be
StubHub.
Brokers.
Right. Yep. Third party stuff, which own the Ticketmaster thing. Anyway, I think I watched a John Oliver thing on that of just being even the artists are beholden to the Ticketmaster and AXS or whoever the other big one is
Live Nation.
Live Nation, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's
the venues and that's why ticket prices are out of control, and
it's a fucking mess.
It's crazy.
Yeah. What was your question earlier?
Amnesia. Google Amnesia.
Google Amnesia. Oh, I thought we were going to talk about shit we don't need, and I'm like, we don't need coupons anymore, man.
Yeah.
I feel bad about using. I haven't used a coupon in
I feel bad about
years.
using coupons.
I still do for my prescriptions. I'll use them for prescriptions and stuff.
I don't know. It just, I like... There's something about it to me. Just I don't care if people use coupons, but for me, I don't know.
Dude, I saw someone write a fucking check the other day, and I was like, dude, get fucked.
Write a check.
Get fucked. I'm like, I fucking do it too, and this is just straight up shit.
Checks.
I'm like, motherfucker is broke. There is no way. I'm like, you are floating this shit.
How
I'm like, catch
old
me
was
if
the
I
person?
can. Oh, dude, this shit. Yeah, dude. No, she knew how to load a musket. No, she knew what she was doing.
I was gonna say it's an age thing because
yeah, no, my mom was there. My mom's like, I think this bitch doesn't have money. I don't think she worded it exactly like that. In fact, 100% did not word it like that.
Well, for dog walking,
my British mom, this bitch don't have money.
Specific clients who will not do anything but checks, and they are a certain age demographic, and they refuse to do Venmo or PayPal or anything like that, and they're the only people. And for a long time before, I had because I just had a an internet bank thing. Like I wasn't with Chase or a credit union or anything, and so there was no way to deposit the check. So I was just like, I had these checks where I had to like sign them over to Mandy, and then Mandy paid me for them because like they're weird. Just so obsolete. But there is a certain generation that still uses them.
So I got a check and I went to the bank to cash or deposit that check, and the teller was probably 5 years younger than me. She's like, you can do this. She's like, do you have the U.S. Bank app?
Online.
Do you have the U.S. She goes, do you have the U.S. Bank app? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you can do this online. I looked her straight there. I was, oh fuck.
Yeah. You can do it at the ATM outside, big guy.
I literally said, oh fuck, and she goes, no, it's okay. I'm like, oh shit. How old am I? I'm like, yeah, I'm just on my way to the drugstore to buy some penny candy.
Werther's Original.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Reasons and Werther's Original.
Well, my mom still pays. My mom's 70 now, but she still pays her water bill in person.
Or balances the checkbook.
Oh yeah, she still does that.
Yeah.
Oh, balancing the checkbook.
Yeah, that's something we don't do anymore.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember my parents sitting down to watch them do it.
Sit there with that register, the check. Like I think I don't remember what it was. Maybe in like 5th or 6th grade. I remember in a previous podcast we talked about like life skills class or whatever, home ec. But I remember I actually learned how to do that, how to carry shit over on the register and shit. That basic invoicing was something that I learned in a class.
Yeah. I did too. I learned that working at Jillian's.
Yeah.
Like I didn't take any classes in that, but like that was me like just jumping into a job, and they're like, figure it out.
Okay.
Like, cool. 10
Yeah, you're sitting there like, that's you like try to do a shit on Excel, and you press enter, and it just goes blank. You're like, okay, well that's not it. Let's go.
Let's try this button.
Yeah, you go back to that unfuck in the upper left corner. It's just a little whoop. Yeah, okay, done with that.
Well, that's a great thing about this whole thing right now is like I remember learning Excel and just eyes bleeding about these formulas I had to figure out, and Google wasn't that big of a thing back when I was learning it, so I couldn't really Google that. I had books I was looking at, and now literally if I need to do an if-then for whatever fucking thing I got to figure out, I can literally Google that.
Yes.
It's just copy and paste, not even have to type it out myself.
Now you just use the Excel for Dummies for your backwoods.
Yeah, exactly. Backwoods.
Yeah, it does make certain more grown-up things easier, like doing taxes, like looking up, like, hey, how do I do this specific form? Like, I can look that up rather than feeling helpless and at the mercy of, like, having to make an appointment with a tax, whoever, attorney, whatever person. Accountant was the word I was looking for. So I think it's helpful in that, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially last tax season, I was looking up all kinds of shit. I fucked up my taxes the first year I was self-employed. The excise tax, I was like, my math teacher is rolling over in her grave right now, laughing at me. So the excise tax is.
You want to be on the I can't even tell you what it is. Get that on wax. Her explaining excise tax on the podcast.
Literally, it has a pamphlet that it comes with of saying like, okay, if you make this amount of money, use this decimal as your multiplier, and then that's how much tax you owe. So you multiply this with this. Okay. So I remember so fucking vividly in my 4th grade class, I messed up an equation because the decimal was in the wrong place, and my 4th grade teacher was like, I was like, it doesn't matter, it's the same, like you knew what I meant. She's like, one day when you do your taxes and if you mess up a decimal, you will know the difference between that. And I was like, blah, 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 blah. And then that shit I manifested. Like I paid over $1,000 more than I needed to.
Oh shit, fuck.
Like it was a huge difference because I used the wrong, like it was supposed to be 0.04 and I put 0.4 like a fucking asshole, and I paid so much money in taxes. 40% and I was like,
as opposed to
Mrs.
4%?
Northman is having a good laugh somewhere right now. She fucking told me this would happen, and here I am.
How old was that teacher? You think that teacher?
I know she's still around, but it was.
Why you keep up with her on Facebook?
I mean, yeah, I was. I for sure was still keeping in touch with her. I think she's probably in her 50s now. But like, oh my god, I literally, I couldn't fucking believe that I did that.
I love it.
Yeah, but I found out I had fucked up from Googling it because I was like, this sounds like too much money for what I made to be paying.
Did you get it back?
Yeah, I did ended up getting back. Not till the next year though.
So I'd been like for the longest time like a 1040 EZ like filer, and like I consider myself to be moderate intelligence. For the life of me, can't fucking do my taxes.
No,
Literally, I can even do algebra and shit. Like, I did that shit. We worked together. I can do financial shit. Taxes, for whatever reason.
The one year I fucked up was the year I did it without any help, and I was like, never again. So now I pay someone $200 every year, and he looks like he's in Slayer, like the band Slayer, and he is the coolest dude, and I have to do nothing.
Yeah, I like my shit's a little more complicated, but I have an accountant, and it's great.
Yeah, you got business.
Yeah, I got some shit, but it's like
and they keep the records for you. So if you're like for a job or whatever you need, like, hey, I need my tax return from 2019, he's just like, okay, here it is.
I think it's $100. I think it's like $100. I think I pay my guy like $140 or some shit.
Yeah, it's so worth it.
Well,
yeah,
it's like I'm never gonna fucking. Well, next time I move, it'll definitely be on my terms. But I think we were talking about this, like about paying movers and shit. And I think it's same literally thing. This is why people have these jobs. Like they'll fucking move that shit for you.
I just factored into my like income, knowing that like every year I'm gonna have to spend around $200 to pay someone to do my taxes. Like so, it's not a surprise.
Do you always get shit back? Because see that sucks. See that sucks. If you got to pay.
No, I haven't. Being self-employed, when I was working at the doggy daycare or doing like someone else is my employer, I usually get something back. Like this last time, I got something back. Yeah. But now that I've started dog walking again, I know I won't get anything back. But what I do is I pay in increments now instead of paying it all at the end of the year. Yeah. So it hurts less. So I do like $300 a quarter. My
buddy does. My business partner does quarterly tax.
Yeah, it's
the only way to do it. His dad will hold me. You know, I'm like, thank God I don't have to pay that shit. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, I did it all at the end of the year, 1 year, and I was like, okay, won't do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. My older brother, his first job out of college, they didn't take taxes out. He was a contractor for Panasonic. Ooh. And like, end of the year, it was...
rough.
He had no idea that it was going to be that much. Like, he was putting some money away. He thought he was doing okay, but it was like... oh, that's way more money.
Well, and it's hard to do when you work for yourself and you get all the money tax-free back, and then you're like, great, I have this amount of money, I can spend it. And then now I'm like, no, I have to put $1,000 away so to make sure that I can have money for taxes at the end of the year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. God damn, good for you.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
It is a toughie.
Shit, yeah, you got probably all kinds of stuff with you, the way you kind of...
Yeah. But most of my stuff, services, like what I do is in taxable services. You know, I'm not providing a good, if you will.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah.
It's,
and learning what you can write off too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, as a joke, literally every day at work I go, hey, if you guys are closing out, I'm like, if you say the word business, it's a business meeting. And
that's what makes you a millennial. That was almost a dad joke.
Is that almost a dad joke?
For you. Yeah.
I still think one of the best dad jokes ever is how much does a polar bear weigh?
I mean, enough to break the ice.
It's so fucking good. I think it's more of a pickup line. So I was getting my hair cut and I told that to the person cutting my hair. I've known for like 25 years, so it's not like it's just a stranger. Her response, it was the only negative response I've ever gotten to that was, her response was, get the fuck away from me. I was like, oh, okay, so it can go bad.
Okay,
so it can go bad. So when everyone says the worst thing she could say is no, that is actually
get the fuck away from me.
That's not even a yes or no question. It was get the fuck away from me. I'm like, oh damn, okay, well, so I'm not gonna be able to holler at you with that.
No, is there a mirror in your pocket?
Holler at you.
Oh,
is that? Would you rather go that route? I mean,
oh, is that? So what was the line on that? Is that because I can?
So I see myself in your pants?
Yeah, ta-da.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe we should do an episode on.
Yeah, exactly. Shit.
I'll do a whole episode on dad jokes for sure.
Oh, I love that.
It's pure.
Oh, see, we can Google dad jokes.
I know. Yeah. Okay. So things we don't need: maps, phone numbers, addresses.
Pretty much everything your phone replaced. So, like, I thought about this at that prompt. It was just basically like, okay, we'll just pretty much think about if you didn't have your phone.
Doctors. Right. A lot of people self-diagnosing.
Did you ever watch that?
Don't need doctors anymore.
Did you ever watch that show, Dave, with Lil Dicky?
No.
All right, so
I do love him.
He goes to the doctor and he's like, "All right, well, I should just tell you, there's a big difference between what I'm hearing from you and what I'm hearing from the online community."
I fucking love him, dude.
So good.
Yeah, I've definitely scared the shit out of myself a few times. I'm like, why am I doing this?
Everything's cancer if you self-diagnose.
Oh, dude, literally every
my thumb
time.
Hurts. What's going on? Oh, you have cancer in your thumb.
My back hurts. Probably bone cancer. Oh my god. Jesus.
You're like, wow, that's a tough one. Like, you like sit there and be like, my dad's friend's uncle's fucking mechanic got it. Fuck, we shouldn't laugh at that.
No, but
the self-diagnosing part.
That's a real thing, you know. Yeah. Like we believe, you know, there's so many stories out there of people that went to a doctor ran tests, doctor said, hey, I'm sorry, but you have cancer, you have 6 months to live. That person died after whatever amount of time. Yeah. They did a biopsy, there's no cancer, right? Whoa. There's countless like examples of that because
the stress of knowing or thinking that you have it.
Because we're like the placebo effect. Yeah. There's the nocebo effect. Like the placebo effect is like we can create whatever we need in our bodies to cure ourselves.
Yeah.
The nocebo effect is like we can also understand bad information about ourselves.
Yeah.
Which is the story we live every fucking day.
Yeah.
In our consciousness. You know, so if we're self-diagnosing now and a lot of people are relying on that self-diagnosis or even just getting that wrapped up in their thought process, you know, are we creating more anxiety for what could potentially be wrong and not actually going and finding out what, well, I mean, most doctors nowadays are really kind of hit and miss with their diagnosis too, right? Yeah. So, you know, it's a lot of just
like second opinions and you want to like diversify and well, I think there is so much to be said like for your mental state and how it does take a toll on your body. Cause like your physical well-being, I think, is linked more with our mental well-being more than we give ourselves credit for.
Definitely.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree with that.
Who wrote that song that went, Doctor, Doctor, give me the news, I got it.
I don't have my phone, I can't Google it.
Loving you.
I would have to Google it.
Yeah, I would also have to Google it.
Fuck. I'm actually glad I don't know who does that because I'm sure that's in that not short list of bands I think that shouldn't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But that sounds like something that me.
Yeah, probably.
Like, known for Love and Blues or whatever the fucking song's called.
The Dr. Pepper commercial.
Not Men at Work though.
God no! How dare you, Colin Hay? Colin Hay would not do that. Shout out Colin Hay.
Shout out to Colin Hay.
Fucking Men at Work.
Oh man.
Men at Work.
I may have listened to Men at Work this morning. True talk.
All right. Well, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, next week's topic will be Robin breaking down the first 2 Men at Work albums. We're going to start in chronological album with Business as Usual.
I look forward to
it. It will be anything but business as usual as we listen to Business as Usual. Tune in next week.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh
Stay tuned.
Oh my God.